We are reviewing the Fish Hotel in the Cotswolds in England. The guests online keep saying this place feels more special than they expected. But does it actually live up to that? Let's see if the expectation matches reality. Hi there, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Before we start, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed already and keeps coming back and watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. And if you're new around here, then welcome to the channel. If you enjoy travel and hotel reviews and finding out whether places actually live up to the photos and hype, then I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe. As a former travel agent, I always loved researching hotels and helping people decide whether somewhere is actually worth booking or not. I based all my opinions and my final verdict on the public guest reviews that I basically find online and is available for everyone to see. I build a balanced picture of what the hotel is actually like, and the goal is simple: to help you get a better idea of what a hotel might actually be like before you actually book it. So let's get into today's hotel review. Okay, so first, what even is the Fish Hotel? Because from the name, I really wasn't expecting this. This isn't one of your large traditional hotel buildings. The Fish Hotel is spread across a countryside estate with different styles of accommodation. You've got your standard hotel rooms, you've got hideaway huts, and even treehouse stays. How fun is that? Immediately makes it feel more interesting than your typical hotel in the country. Now, looking through the guest reviews, the words that keep coming up is peaceful, relaxing, comfortable, and cozy. This doesn't seem like the type of place trying to impress with over-the-top luxury. What it does feel like that it's focused on creating an experience, a place to slow down, relax, and people seem to really enjoy that. Okay, so let's talk about the location. The Fish Hotel is located in the Cotswolds in England, an area known for all its beautiful views in the countryside. The villages, the walking paths, and the classic English countryside look. The nearby village of Broadway is something that guests mention often. People describe enjoying the slower pace and the scenery. And this definitely feels less like go, 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 and more slow mornings, drinking your coffee, having beautiful country walks, and just switching off. Now, if you love city hotels, I think you should skip this one. It just might not be for you. But if your idea of a good break is getting away from it all, throwing away your phone, relaxing somewhere quieter, I can see why people like this one. Okay, one thing that stood out while reading the reviews was how often people mentioned the staff. Guests repeatedly talked about warm welcomes, friendly service, and helpful teams, and small details that made stays feel extra special. Some guests celebrating their birthdays or occasions mentioned feeling really looked after. Of course, not every review was perfect. There were the occasional mentions of slower service at their more busier times. But overall, the staff feedback looked consistently positive. Now, let's talk about price. This isn't a budget hotel, but it's also not way up there in the ultra luxury prices. Prices can vary between season to season and also the room type that you choose, especially if you choose one of the more unique accommodation options. So I think this hotel comes down to expectations compared to a standard hotel. You may think it is expensive compared to luxury countryside stays, and you may think it offers decent value. People seem to feel they're paying for the overall experience and not just the room stay. So what are guests actually saying? The things people seem to really love is the peaceful surroundings, the cozy atmosphere, the beautiful scenery, the breakfast, the unique accommodation, of course, and the relaxing feel. Things that came up less positively was some rooms are quite spread apart, the occasional slower service, and some guests expected larger rooms. Food options varied, but overall, the reviews gave the impression that people enjoyed staying here, and many guests said they would return. So, as usual, I clicked on to TripAdvisor, and I'm going to read a couple of the reviews. So, Don was there in May of 2026. He writes, he gave a 5-star. And he writes, a wonderful hotel in the countryside, not far from Broadway, UK, in the Cotswolds. I can't say enough good things about the staff. Max, Katie, Grace, and others whose names, unfortunately, I've forgotten, were amazing. We were in the coach house suite with plenty of space. Dining in the hotel restaurant was great, a great base to explore the Cotswolds. So that's a great review from Dawn. Let's see if we have another one. Okay, we have another one here from 2 weeks ago, 4-star. It was nice. Me and the OH, not really sure what that is, other half maybe, recently had a night here at the Fish and had dinner in the Hook and breakfast the next morning. Lovely location which feels secluded and far away from the maddening crowd. Easy to find with good signposts and the instructions given by the hotel in their welcome email. Arrival and check-in was smooth, easy, and completed quickly before being directed to your accommodation. We went to the bar for a drink and were immediately greeted by a staff member and given bar menus, however, then disappeared and we were just left in the bar area, sat there waiting. Too bad. Around 15 minutes later, another guest went to find a staff member as they wanted their drink refreshed. And once that had happened, this staff member then asked if we would like to order anything. Now, obviously, maybe this was just during their busy time, and they have said that during busy time, service can be a little bit slow. The hotel quite clearly says it's dog friendly, and I would say that's an understatement. We did not have a dog with us and definitely felt like we were the odd ones out, especially in the bar. Wow. And lounge area where everyone else had at least one dog with them. And she writes in brackets, all well behaved. Dogs are, however, not permitted into the restaurant. So it's dog friendly hotel. She goes on to say, the accommodation is to a good standard and there was nothing missing that we thought would be standard in this level of hotel. However, you don't have to be code trained as all the details on things such as heating, etc., are accessed through our codes in your room. We are not particularly code savvy and therefore didn't find this out until the next day when I asked how could I have done something and was told scanning the QR codes was the gateway to all knowledge. The hotel accommodation is spread out and some of the pathways, the roads, the steps between your accommodation and the main lodge are quite steep. Okay. We enjoyed our night's stay here and the food was very enjoyable. It was an experience, and although we like dogs, there was just too many around for us. Okay, so she gave a kind of a little mixed bag in her review. I mean, she really overall did have a great experience. I guess if you're not liking too much walking, this might not be the best hotel to stay at if you're not going there for hikes and walks and things like that. And also if you're allergic to dogs, I wouldn't go there either. Okay, and then we have Natalie, who stayed in the end of May of last year. They get the little details right. I booked a stay in the hilly huts for my partner's 40th birthday, and although I knew it looked great, the fish exceeded my expectations. From the minute we arrived, the beautiful setting was a great start. A little while after we checked in, we got a call to make sure everything was okay, which is a simple but underrated touch. They had put birthday chocolates in the room and a lovely note and wine gift, and the hut itself was gorgeous. It's so beautifully decorated and the quality is clear immediately. We had dinner booked in the Hook restaurant, and to say we were blown away would be an understatement. Wow, the food is absolutely incredible and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Nothing seemed too much trouble and they just nailed the details at every step. Now they said here, from the doggy bath, the gorgeous food and wine, the idyllic setting, and the fact that they made sure we had oat milk in the room was fantastic. Selection of drinks and snacks. It was amazing and we will definitely go back. Okay, now so let's go to see if there's any 1 or 2 stars. So let's filter. So we'll filter for 1, 2, and 3. The last 12 months and show the filter. And here we have one from 2 days ago, a 1 star, rude staff and inedible food. Wow, I came in for food on a Friday evening, myself and 3 friends. I was served by an older lady named Michelle. Oops. She asked if we were staying at the hotel. We told her no, we were only coming for the food, and she scoffed and asked us for a last name for the tab. We ordered our drinks, took 25 minutes to arrive. The bar was busy, so we didn't mind. However, our food took over an hour and was disgusting. Oops. They ordered 2 pizzas, 2 salads and some fries, and everything was cold. Oh my gosh, the chef must have been having an off day. Everything was cold, tasteless, and quite frankly, inedible. We asked Michelle if there was anything she can do. She offered to remake the food and give us a free round of drinks. That's great. We decided we didn't want to wait another hour for more food to come, and so we backed out. And still be inedible, so we asked for another solution. She was really rude to us and said we're asking for too much. Oh, she stated in her opinion we should pay the bill and leave if we didn't want the food remade. We asked for the round of drinks to be made as a takeaway, and we only wanted teas and coffees. We were told that you didn't have to take away cups, so they were unable to provide this. When we asked to remove the service charge upon paying, Michelle gave us a really dirty look and asked why. When we explained, we felt it was unfair for us to pay this. She uttered something under her breath. We couldn't quite make out what she said, but it was something along the lines of cheapskates. Oh, we are extremely disappointed with the food and service of this restaurant, and we will not be returning. That sounds awful. Oh, Michelle. And you know what? The Max Winder, the general manager, actually did reply. I'm really sorry to hear about your experience on Friday night. This certainly isn't the standard we aim to achieve. It's disappointing to read that both the food and the service fell below. So let's see if he did anything. If you're open to it, I really appreciate the chance to speak to you directly. You can contact me directly at the hotel. That is great. So they're going to email the manager, and hopefully he will do something to make it right. That's great customer service. I like that. Okay, now we've got November the 30th of 2025, another 1-star daylight robbery. Well, £4.95 for an Americano is steep, and for a tea, also at £4.95. However, at £9.90, it's over the top. However, when service charge is then added, making it £10.90 without even mentioning the service charge, it was daylight robbery. That is quite a lot for a cup of tea. I agree. And Max, the general manager, again replied to that. Let's see what he quickly would say. They talk about they do have a service charge. And they are willing to reimburse the service charge. Very good, Max. Okay, let's give one more 3-star. In October 4th, 2025, it was Martin. Such a shame, an amazing place and a great location. Went there for a lunch in the bar, very limited menu, so thought it would be good. My burger was overcooked and burnt at the edge. My partner's Caesar salad had been made a long time and was quite limp. Service was good. Made an inquiry about the Christmas and told they could not access the room availability as we have a dog and wanted to take her with us. When I looked at the website, it said call the hotel. Such a shame, it's such a fantastic place, but failed at the last post. Also put on a service charge. So that's another person complaining about the service charge. So a little bit mixed there. Maybe they were just catching them on off, but it did say in the positive reviews that when they're busy, the service lacks. So maybe they need to work out, get more staff. And Michelle, I think, needs to be told that you can't be rude to your customers. You know, that's not good. And it really does bring down the whole feel of this beautiful, unique place. Now, let's go on to booking.com because I want to see how much it's going to cost me to stay one night at the Fish Hotel. So let's have a look. So the Fish Hotel in Farncombe Estate, Broadway, United Kingdom. Friday, June 5th to Sunday, June 7th. So a nice weekend, 2 adults. Let's see what we've got. So they're actually sold out. So let's go to Thursday, June 4th to Saturday, June 6th. 2 adults, no children. Let's see what we can get. 703 euros, includes taxes and fees, breakfast included, which is great. And you get a nice king-size bed, free Wi-Fi, telephone view, of course, a bathroom, flat screen TV, coffee machine. So yeah, 703 euros for that. Very nice. So would I stay here? I think I would. Not because I'm expecting luxury, but because I think this hotel knows exactly what it is. It's relaxed, it's different, it's a bit quirky, and it's a little bit special. I'd probably stay here for 2 or 3 nights, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. Switch off for a bit and just relax. Would I travel specifically for this hotel to the UK? Probably not. Would I include it in my UK trip? Definitely. So for me, expectation versus reality, this one feels like reality delivers. But I want to know, would you stay here? Have you stayed here? And if you've been, did the guest reviews get it right? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next hotel review. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.